peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. This is the People's Court. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and the topic we have for you on the show this morning is Jubilee Purges rebels, and we saw that happening yesterday, and I'll just read us a bit of that. I saw the story on, was it the Daily Nation, on page 6. So let me just read a bit of that, and then I'll take us to a video that a press conference that was done by Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju. So I'll read the story on page 6 of the Daily Nation, and that will form the basis of our conversation this morning. The Jubilee Party has dropped Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata as the Senate Majority Whip amid a widening political rift between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. The decision was made yesterday during the party's Senate Parliamentary Group meeting at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi. And the meeting was chaired by Secretary General Raphael Tuju on behalf of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Late yesterday, Speaker Kenneth Lusaka confirmed he had received a word from the party on the sacking of Mr. Kang'ata and promised to communicate his decision to the House this afternoon. Now, the senator was convicted on 2 counts of insubordination and violation of confidentiality code that guides party officials, Mr. Tuju said. And just beside that story, there's this one I think I'd mentioned earlier on our first show, Jubilee barred from expelling rebel senators. And I'll just read a bit of that, and it says that the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal has temporarily barred the Jubilee Party from expelling 6 of its nominated senators over disciplinary violations. This is after the legislators appealed the decision. Pending the hearing and determination of this application inter partes, this tribunal hereby stays any further implementation of the Jubilee party decision dated February 8th. The order reads, the cases will be mentioned on February 16th and 17th respectively. I beg your pardon. And the party on Monday expelled nominated Senators Isaac Mwaura, Millicent Omanga, Mary's Senator Falhada Dikau, Naomi Wako, and Victor Prengei following deliberations by the party's National Management Committee on reports submitted by the disciplinary committee. So now we have the premise of our conversation this morning. So I'd like to introduce my panelist. That is Douglas Kirimi from Meru. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, to our crew in our headquarters in Nairobi, to my friend Jevan Karanja in Nanyuki, and also to our friends across the globe. Thank you for having me on the show.
Very well. You're welcome, and thank you for being here. And we also have Jevan Karanja, all the way from Nanyuki. Jevan, a very good morning to you.
Very good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to our viewers, wherever they are catching this broadcast from. And good morning to my friend Douglas Kirimi. Thanks for having me on the show this good morning.
Sawa, karibu sana. So without wasting a lot of time, I'd like for us to watch a bit of that press conference that was held yesterday by Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju.
This morning, the party leader with the responsibility of chairing the PG. We had several issues of discussion. Previous to that, we've had issues of discussion on the leadership of the party in the Senate. I think I'll go to the big news that you expect to hear, is that we've had a resolution that Mr. Irungu Kang'ata ceases to be the Jubilee Chief Whip in the Senate, and he's replaced by Senator Wamatangi. We had members of the Senate from the Jubilee Party, you can say half because I'm told they are half in another party, who their disapproval of that decision. We gave them the chance to articulate their position in a very civil manner. They had a right to be heard, but the majority of us, of the Senate rather, because I'm not a member of the Senate, the majority of the Senate members of the Jubilee Party Alliance had their way because there were more of them. I think I want to make it clear because Senator Kang'ata has tried to give the impression that the reason why he's been relieved of his responsibility as the chief whip in the House has got something to do with a letter that he wrote to the president at the beginning of this year. I want to be able to explain to you that that is not the case, at least not the case directly. We had a meeting with Honorable Kang'ata with the leadership of the House, actually the leadership of Parliament. There were 8 of us, and we reached some conclusions because we did feel that whatever opinions he had to make is within his right as a member of the Jubilee Party, and he should not be vilified or punished for that. But the way in which he did them was what was the question that we thought he should realize, that there's decorum, there are ways of addressing these issues when you want to talk to the leadership of the party, and especially if that leadership happens to include His Excellency the President. After that meeting, we had another meeting at the Jubilee headquarters in which we invited him. He refused to come. And we discussed a few other confidential issues in which we put him online to be able to talk to us. But in a most unfortunate way, he decided to discuss what we discussed in closed meetings outside to the media. That was his biggest failure as far as leadership is concerned. You don't kiss and tell. You don't kiss and tell. When we meet as a leadership, you're supposed to keep the confidentiality of the meeting, keep the confidentiality of what it is we have discussed. But if after talking, immediately you go out and expose those who you talked with and what you said with them, then that is not acceptable, and that is his biggest failure as a leader. And therefore, the rest of the leadership in the Senate are not able to trust him going forward. How then can they ever talk freely when he's there, when they don't know what he's going to say outside to the media and to his friends? So it is that breach of confidentiality which has made his position untenable. I think that's all I have to say about that. If you have questions, you may.
Numbers. There's an assertion that has been made that you did not have the requisite numbers, and according to their calculation is that Jubilee has 38 senators, and if you were to get him out, you need a resolution by 20 members, and you, according to their own calculation, you had only 15. What did you say about that?
Well,
All right, welcome back. That is just part of the press conference that Jubilee Secretary General had yesterday, where Senator Kangata was removed as Jubilee's Majority Chief Whip in the Senate there and was replaced by Kiambu Senator Kimani Wamatangi. Douglas, you don't kiss and tell.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, we need to understand that this is Jubilee Party of Kenya, the ruling party that is punching their members. And the people that are talking about Irungu Kangata don't know the history of Irungu Kangata's accession to power. Irungu Kangata was moving from one hotel to another in Nairobi and also in Thika Greens, trying to rob people so that they can depose Susan Keka, the senator for Nakuru, from opposition as the majority whip in Senate. Irungu Kangata has been a Tanga member, which was the biggest political risk that Jubilee Party and the President of the Republic of Kenya did to appoint him as the majority whip in Senate. He fend on the political carcass of Senator Susan Keka, and now his time has come for him to go back to Tanga, and the party should make no apologies by purging Irungu Kangata from their party, because this is a man that would do meetings with the rights of Raphael Tuju and the party ranks and file. Then he would move on. The next minute he would go and sell the same information to Tanga. This is the same man that can no longer be trusted in Jubilee Party. We have seen a man who would meet 27 supporters of his gubernatorial bid and then say this is Mount Kenya region. Miriam, I need to remind the people of Kenya that Mount Kenya region is made up of 11 counties. These 11 counties don't represent the 27 people who sat at Irungu Kangata's home in Kiaru. And also for Irungu Kangata to purport to be speaking for Mount Kenya region, their praises, he has never stepped in, and their praises all that only Kangata and add him about him when this letter was written purportedly by him about the situation in Mount Kenya region. Again, Miriam, Irungu Kangata is a man that has been antagonizing Mount Kenya region, and also the president, when he wrote that particular letter that he said he is writing to the president, Mount Kenya region had no BBI tours, and these people have not seen this BBI. And again, at the end of the day, when will the people of Mount Kenya reject 53 billion in the face of they want to support someone that will come and promise them something in the future? At the end of the day, for Irungu Kangata, may you go where you came from, and at the end of the day, we have nothing else than to wish you all the best as you go to Tanga, because at the end of the day, you came from Tanga, and to Tanga you have returned. I've said before here, Irungu Kangata is the greatest political hypocrite of our time. You cannot meet 27 people in your home, then go and put the same in a letter and purport to know more than the president, who receives intelligence reports every morning. He knows the situation in Mount Kenya region. Again, this Mount Kenya region has become the proper bargaining a child of Kenya politics today, because everyone that wants to promise anyone that he will become president, I'll give you an opinion on Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya region has decided 27 people seated at Irungu Kangata's home cannot speak for 11 counties and over 6 million voters combined in Mount Kenya region.
Very well.
Again, for Irungu Kangata, may you go well, and may Tanga favor you in their next opposition activities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Javen, but Raphael Tuju, they're saying you don't kiss and tell. This implies that Irungu Kangata broke some level of trust, and he mentioned their confidentiality when the party organs they meet and discuss very vital information that are confidential in regards to the party. Apparently, he went ahead and shared some of these things even in the public there. So, what do you make of that?
Thank you, Miriam, for that good question and for the conversation that you're having. And it's a good opportunity to discuss. One, the Jubilee Party, since the handshake, this party has not been the same. We have people who felt threatened by the handshake, and these are the people who support the deputy president. Maybe to them, they felt like the handshake was pushing the deputy president to the periphery of leadership in the Jubilee administration, and maybe in future, maybe you might not get the nominations as the presidential flag bearer of the Jubilee Party. And maybe that is the reason why from handshake, we have seen the deputy president and the president not reading from the same script. We have seen them disagree. We have seen the lieutenants also disagree publicly, and it became evidence yesterday when Moses Kuria and Honorable Akanini Kega were disagreeing on matters of Jubilee leadership and BBI and its 2022 and the 2022 politics. Therefore, this is a party that has not been on the right, has not been consolidated as it was in the first term. And I think this because of personal interest. And I think this party could be still holding its gravity if the deputy president and his people felt the need to build a party rather than to build on empty promises or to build up other parties that don't have a national outlook. The reason why we had Jubilee Party, this was a merging of different small parties to form one big party that has a national outlook. To some extent, they achieved that. Therefore, I feel like the Jubilee Party is not still the same. And what we have in Jubilee, these are remains of what we used to have in 2017 campaign, because we have seen it dividing on the middle. But lucky enough, we have alliances with the party like KANU, which have come on board to support the president. Therefore, it is quite a good thing that we still have the parties trying to figure out and to come together. But we have seen in discipline cases, one, the majority leader then, Honorable Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, was also de-whipped from the majority leadership after being disloyal to the party, after being seen to support an agenda, to champion an agenda that is contrary to that of the party leadership. The same fate fell to Senator Susan Kihika of Nakuru, and later now, after Susan Kihika was de-whipped from the position of chief whip, we got Senator Muranga Irungu Kangata, who replaced him. And people are quite hopeful that he could do the job. But unfortunately, he came out because he was in Tangatanga previously. And it came out that he still have roots in Tangatanga. And in Tangatanga he came, and in Tangatanga he has returned peacefully. Okay. Therefore, there is nothing much. And on the issue of Raphael Tuju, as you have asked, one, Raphael Tuju is the Secretary General of Jubilee Party, and he is saying that they had no issue with Irungu Kangata. The point that Irungu Kangata is trying to create, the image that Irungu Kangata is trying to create to the public, that he was chased, he was removed from the position because he is a son of a hustler, he's a son of a mechanic. Those are things that don't hold water. We have seen the kind of disregard to the right channel that Irungu Kangata used to leak a confidential letter that was supposed to go to the president, heading to the medias, heading to the pages of bloggers, and that is not the case. As a leader, he needs to have followed the right channels to reach the president, because a man, they can talk one-to-one. Therefore, to me, that is a disrespect to the president. That shows that he does not trust the leadership. And the issue he was talking about is a very serious issue, because it's a Building Bridges initiative, an initiative that is supported by president. And when he comes from the president's backyard to portray an image that the BBI is not popular, and he did a survey that is not scientific, a survey that does not reflect the right channels when you carry such surveys, then shows that a man who cannot be trusted with the agenda of the government, and the government of the day is the Jubilee Party. Therefore, that was the right thing to do. And I feel like the Irungu Kangata should continue whipping from a UDA party, should continue whipping people from Tangatanga, because that is where he belongs. And at the same time, as a country, we have political parties that are strong, political parties that have discipline, political parties that are founded on ideology, so that we avoid heading and having political parties that are used as suitcase, as briefcase for politicians to get in power, and after that they misbehave and they destroy those parties. Okay. We will not keep having new political parties towards every general election. It is high time as Kenyans we also support and we get strong political party that reflect the wills of the people and that have a national outlook, and we avoid tribal and regional political parties. Thank you.
Right. Very well said. Jevin Karanja. I missed that part where Irungu was saying Kangata was talking about his father being a mechanic and all that. Well, Kihika is a daughter of a very notable figure in this country, but she was also removed from a position there in Jubilee Party. So I don't know if that argument holds any sound water there. So Mr. Tuju yesterday insisted that his removal Kangata's removal had nothing to do with the contents of the letter, which I think we shall get to in a short bit, but the manner in which the senator chose to address the president. Whatever his opinion, he was within his right to express his views and not to be vilified. But we have issues in the way in which he chose to do it. And I think this is a conversation that we've had here several times over. And he might have had, some grounds for and some important, points in that letter. But the manner in which now the former majority chief whip in the Senate, they decided to go about informing the president, which I doubt if the president even received this letter, because before we knew it, he said he had copied it to the Secretary General and he had copied it to somebody else, but this letter was meant to go to the president. So I don't know why these people had to get a hold of it first before the intended recipient, who was the president. And so the manner in which he chose to do it, I think that is where we had this conversation before, and the majority of you in the panel said that was not the right way, because as the majority chief whip of Jubilee Party, Kangata had access to the party leadership there, and that will be President Uhuru Kenyatta and other party organs, but he chose to use instead a different way. And this seemed as though he meant to serve a different purpose outside of what he was trying to address in that letter. Would that be correct, Douglas?
Thank you, Miriam. And that question is very profound. I wish every journalist would ask that question, because the purpose that the letter was written for is not even about Mount Kenya BBI issues. We have never heard the people of Mombasa saying that they are going to vote for BBI. We have never heard Hassan Joe do a survey in the region, in the coast region. We've never had Raila and other people in the Nyanza region do such a survey, or even William Ruto himself in his own backyard, because it is a post-dated conversation that he was writing in that letter. That letter was supposed to be a post-dated letter. It is a letter that is supposed to have been coming out of Mount Kenya region and also from Irungu Kangata and the company. When BBI campaigns have started, people have now left the county assemblies and national assembly, and now the BBI conversation has come to the people so that it will be campaigned to become, so that they can move out and vote in a referendum. The timing of this conversation about BBI support in Mount Kenya region, why would the people support something that you don't understand, something that they have never seen? The first attempt to give the people of Mount Kenya the copies of BBI benefits and also what is contained in the BBI was done at Sagana by the state. That is when I saw printed copies of BBI being distributed to the people, and grassroots leaders like myself and others taking these copies to their people. And at the end of the day, it is wrong for Irungu Kangata to have written that letter in a post-dated manner. He spoke about the future that he cannot be able to preempt. Nobody knows about the future. Irungu Kangata was speaking, and also under the binding of Tanga function of the deputy president, it is as clear as day and night, black and white. This is a man that was on a mission to continue besmirching the president in Mount Kenya region and belittling the president. In Turkana County, where Governor Nanok of Tanga comes from, we have never had anyone talk about BBI. Why are we being told it is about 20% out of 100% of Mount Kenya region that support BBI? Did we see Irungu Kangata in Meru town, in Meru County, carrying a town hall conversation and also a survey? What type of sampling that was done for his own research to be able to carry water? Again, did we see him in Embu? Did we see him in Nakuru, in Laikipia, in Nyeri? We never saw Irungu Kangata in Kiambu. We never saw Irungu Kangata in Kirinyaga County or Murang'a County, except the 27 people that sat at his home in Kiaru and sat at night and gave a verdict on BBI. We need to tell each other the truth, Miriam. The conversation about BBI, as far as Irungu Kangata letter was concerned, it was put under the mandate and at the pen of Tanga people to continue destroying the narrative of the BBI, to continue propagating the BBI narrative that the BBI is very unpopular in Mount Kenya region, and it is a BBI that is not even people are not conversant with this BBI. Again, the conversation about BBI process in Mount Kenya region has been carried by one team Arun and their team leader William Ruto, who has been asking the people of Mount Kenya to reject BBI in the favor of wheelbarrows and in favor of his Tanga narrative, Asra narrative.
Okay.
Again, we have never seen the president trying to sell this BBI benefits to the people of Mount Kenya. Again, Mount Kenya people, especially the people from Central Region, are people that are known to have a big business acumen. These are people that cannot be able to be content in a wheelbarrow narrative. These are business people, are people that knows that their tea and their coffee and other cash crops that they farm. People of Meru know that Mira is more important than their wheelbarrow conversation. People of Mount Kenya region also know that tea and also tea, coffee reforms that are being carried by the agriculture minister through the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta. These are important conversation. Agriculture is the backbone of the mountain, and this is why he has been killing this conversation to defranchise our people economically and continue Miriam, to defranchise our people politically by dividing us and showing us the president is not in charge of this region. Right. This region, Miriam, I've said this country is guided by the people of this nation and the conversation around our leadership in the mountain. It is the same way that they have a conversation in Rift Valley, where the kingship about the Rift Valley region is pitting deputy president and also KANU chairman, not William Ruto, Gideon Moi. These conversations around Mount Kenya region and everything that Irungu Kangata was carrying out in that letter, we need to understand that it came from Tanga. And for now, the party has been able to chase him away, and he needs to return to William Ruto so that William Ruto can accommodate him in opposition in 2022 million.
All right, very well. Well, I was watching just an interview a while ago that a former majority leader in Senate, Kipchumba Murkomen, he was saying that they've been forced out of Jubilee Party. They've been chased out of Jubilee Party, and I don't think that is the case. I think being removed from positions does not mean now you go. You've just been removed from a particular position because the party feels that you are not doing a service as you should, holding that position. But that does not mean now you leave the party. You've been stripped from that position, but I don't know, the translation, I guess, is different there. So there's a question, Javen, I've asked Douglas. I'm not sure if he's been able to address the question I asked, so I'll pose it to you. Please attempt to answer that question. What Tuju said yesterday, whatever his opinion, that is whatever Kangata's opinion, he was within his right to express his views and not to be vilified, but we have issues in the way that he did that. So what he's saying, from where you stand, first of all, let me just ask that, from where you stand, Javen, what do you think was wrong with the medium Kangata chose to address this letter to President Kenyatta?
Well, Miriam, thanks for the question. One, I agree with the Secretary General Jubilee Party, Raphael Tuju, that the way Irungu Kangata did, Miriam, in this party, in these political parties, we have a right of expression. We have a right to petition. You have a right to say what you feel is wrong or what is right in the party. And that is the right that is guaranteed to all members of the party, Irungu Kangata included as a member of Jubilee Party. Therefore, he had the right to say what his thoughts were in regard to the BBI. But the medium, the channel that he used to view or to take his message, that was what was wrong, because he could have reached to the president or to the party leadership, the Secretary General Raphael Tuju, and they had a one-on-one conversation. But it seems like he was operating from forces that were forcing him to act in a certain manner, to portray President Uhuru Kenyatta as a man who does not have intelligence. We know we have a national intelligence people who gathers information, intelligence, and reports to the president or to the Minister of Security directly. Therefore, everything that happens in this country, President Uhuru Kenyatta knows he is in a better position to know what is happening in this country than any one of us. Therefore, Irungu Kangata was not in any way special to say that he know more than the intelligence or the police or the people who were put in place to be carrying those kind of duties and to report to the president. Therefore, I agree with Raphael Tuju. People have a right to express themselves, but they should do it in a manner in a dignified way, in a manner that is respectful, in a manner that shows that you are a man of a sober understanding on what needs to be done when you need to carry that information. One, we know, number two, Miriam, we know these members of parliament, they have direct access to the president. Therefore, it was unfair for President Irungu Kangata, Senator, with all due respect, to pretend as if he cannot reach the president or he cannot reach the PA to the president. That was something that was quite unfortunate. Therefore, I agree that we need to have discipline in the party. Loyalty to the party is something that is paramount. And if you feel like the party is not giving you the service that you need, the best that you can do, you can vacate, you can resign from the position and seek new mandate with the party that feels champions for the agenda that you are in support for. Therefore, that is something that should be made public, so that these people, if you feel disagreeing with the party leadership of Jubilee, then you have the right to resign and seek a new mandate from the people of Murang'a using the UDA party or the TSP or the CRP. There are a lot of parties that people can go and they feel comfortable if they are comfortable in the Jubilee party. I think I've tried to answer the question.
I think, yes, you have. Yes, you have. Thank you so much, Jevan. You have perfectly answered that question. Now, led by Elgeyo Marakwet, Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, the leaders who had attended the meeting to voice their disapproval, said Mr. Kangata was not notified of the reasons of his removal and given time to respond to such allegations. Surely. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. We need to understand as a people is that at the end of the day, what Kipchumba Murkomen and company were saying, and also what they were expecting a strong showdown as far as Jubilee Party matters are concerned. That is a decision of the party. If the party doesn't want Irungu Kangata as their whip, it is the party that brought Irungu Kangata on the floor and also made him the chief whip in Senate. At the end of the day, Irungu Kangata hit on the carcass of Murkomen and Susan Kieka, the senator for Nakuru. Again, for Irungu Kangata and company to purport now that they have been sacrificed and all that, they have not been given time to be heard and all that. That is Jubilee Party. And the party has taken a position and they need to replace someone. There is nothing that we should be talking about here. Parties have taken positions before. Kanu Party, the independent party, has been able to take positions since independence. And political parties have been taking their own positions. And this is the position of Jubilee Party. So for Kipchumba Murkomen, who has been propagating and also advocating for the UDA party, the UTA party that has been formed by the deputy president, is not something new that we can be able to see. It is tantrums of a dying horse that they are trying to play, and also politics of deceit, and also politics of pretense. At the end of the day, Jubilee Party has taken their position, and they have seen that Irungu Kangata shall go back to William Ruto's party and also function of Tanga, and they have nothing to apologize for. So I don't see anything that Kipchumba Murkomen was saying. Kipchumba Murkomen still is reading on the emotions of his oust as the leader of majority in Senate. It was such a lucrative position for him, and that built him politically. So he's also reading from the emotions and also the pain of being removed in the manner that he was removed some 8 months ago. So for him, I have no guidance for him and also Irungu Kangata. The party has taken a position, including if it was me who was on the chopping board. I would be grateful that I have served for 8 months. There are people who will die in this country having never been majority whips of ruling parties in this country. These people should be grateful that they have been leaders, courtesy of Jubilee Party, and its leader is the party leader of Jubilee Party, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the bona fide member of Jubilee Party. So if this party has taken a position, Kipchumba Murkomen and company, Irungu Kangatas of this world, Susan Kiekas, Medeka Rinturi, the senator for Meru, they all need to sit down and take a chill and relax, because these parties can take positions, including the UDA party, who take positions that are not popular with their members and also their leaders in their final rank. So this is a decision of Jubilee Party. I have nothing to do with that decision as a Kenyan.
All right.
Irungu Kangata has nothing to do with it, because it is him that destroyed the relationship that was there, the trust and the mandate that was given by Jubilee Party and filed. So for him, I have no guidance for them, Miriam.
Okay. Very well. So observers have always predicted that it was a matter of time before the axe fell on Mr. Kangata after he authored that letter, and we saw the content of that letter. Some of it, or some points he raised there, were very synonymous with some of the demands DP side was making in regards to some of the things that weren't included in the BBI report, and one of them was the multiple choice referendum, which President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga and the people who were in support of the BBI did not agree with. Of course, some of the demands that DP made during the second launch of the BBI, I think he raised about 6 or so points. I think 4 of them were included in the final report of the BBI, but the multiple choice referendum and holding the referendum the same day with the election, which I thought was very ridiculous. Even they knew it was ridiculous, because I've not heard them push for the same anymore. It's not very practical when you look at the nature of our elections and how many ballot papers we already have, and then now you want to add another ballot papers, maybe a couple of them, because now we want multiple choice referendum. So that was ridiculous. Even I believe the people who had proposed this idea, led by Deputy President, I think after sitting down and thinking about it, I'm sure they know it's not quite practical to have that and election on the same day, and on top of that we have a multiple choice referendum there. And so we've seen that. And so we know that the BBI is a brainchild of President Uhuru Kenyatta. It is something that he is passionate about. It is something that he wants to see come through, and some of these things adopted, and so that we're able to change our constitution. And having a chief whip in the Senate who is supposed to be advancing the same position as the leadership of the party, and they don't speak the same language, they don't see the same way, they don't advance the same things that is expected of them. There is no way it was expected that Kangata will continue holding this position. And also, this is a conversation we had here, because when you're put in certain positions like the chief whip, your work there is to advance government's business, period, not your personal opinion, it's just to advance a government's business in the House. So if you feel that whatever the government that you're supposed to be representing, whatever things they want you to advance, you don't agree with some of these things, aka when you look at the BBI and how important it is to the president, and you don't agree with it, I think the right thing for Kangata should have done is to perhaps resign from this position, because making him advance this idea that he does not believe in, I think was, is impossible. So I think the right thing for Kangata to have done should have been to resign. So now he has been removed because the reasons that Tuju gave, but also because he does not believe in this process and the BBI, and I think that has become very apparent. So it was just a matter of time. Are you surprised, Javen, that Kangata was removed from this position?
No, I'm not surprised, Miriam. This is something that was long overdue. It's something that was coming, and it's something that we expected will happen, because that was the voice from all quarters in this country, because we cannot be having a party. And I remember even a Secretary General to go to Francis Atwoli asking, which is this party that people misbehave, that people do whatever they feel is right for them, regardless of what the party position is. Therefore, this is something that we expected, that Irungu Kangata was heading to the chopping board, and exactly we saw yesterday it came to light. And this should also go to the other leaders and other political parties. If you have people who don't follow the constitution, who don't uphold the rule of the constitution that puts the party together, the best way to do is to show them the door, so that they can live, and they give space and they give room for the party to blossom and to grow, because a party will not grow when they have blocks, they have people who are acting like they want to pull it down. Therefore, that was a very intelligent and a prudent move by the party leadership. Number 2, we expect the new leader of the chief whip, Irungu Kimani Wamatangi, Honorable Kimani Wamatangi, Senator, is a man who we have seen. He is a very man who is quite He does not take these political tones. He's a man you will not see him in the political fields. You will not see him in the Kieleweke or Lotangatanga camps. He's a man of dignity. He's a man who is known for his good reputation, and is a man who, when he starts to speak and discussing issues, he goes head on. He does not shy from the truth. Therefore, those are the kind of the leaders that we expect that will put the Jubilee Party together and make this party grow, because all the will and of the party members is to see their party grow to become a figure in the country and an example even to the East Africa and Africa at large, like we have the CCM and ANC in South Africa. Therefore, these are the kind of the goals that a party has. You know, the Jubilee Party, they had a wish to look like the Communist Party of China, and I think they are not heading there, to be frank. That is not the direction they are taking, because they need to work on 1 or 2, 3 things to bring their party together and to focus and to achieve that. But all said and done, they are still in the government, and we expect them to continue promising and keeping the promise that they made to the people of Kenya during the campaign period. Therefore, Irungu Kangata should set an example out there that is good to behave, is good to respect those who are in authority. Because, Miriam, you don't know tomorrow. Tomorrow, Irungu Kangata might be the head of state. And I feel like he will, in one way or the other, need party members or party leadership to be disciplined and to respect him. I think that is something that every leader wants. That is why you see them, even the deputy president, he wants to command and he wants everybody to respect what he says, and even he wants to use other means to show that he still has the power, because in politics, it's about the power you have and the numbers. That is all. Therefore, we expect a lot to be happening in the Jubilee Party. Miriam, we still know, on a lighter note, that we still have a looming impeachment motion for the deputy president. Therefore, a lot is happening in the Jubilee Party.
How can you place that? How can you place that on a lighter note, section? That is quite serious.
You know, it's something that everybody anticipates, and it's in public domain. Therefore, as a Jubilee Party, they need to come out and settle their issues as a team, because if this party fails, it will be hard to start a new party again, because we have seen the kind of party that they are bringing on board as a replacement to Jubilee as a UDA party and TSP parties that I don't want to say much about them, because I'm not a member of these parties, but they don't have the national outlook or the characters that can hold this country together. Therefore, Irungu Kangata, goodbye for now. You can be nominated, or you can be a chief whip if the deputy president happens to form the government in 2022. Thank you.
All right, and I think they alluded to that fact that perhaps Irungu Kangata can go and be a leader somewhere in that older party. So not less, it's, the axe did not just fall on Kangata, it also fell on other 6 nominated senators. Now let's just look at what is happening there. This is after the political parties disputes tribunal temporarily barred the Jubilee Party from expelling 6 of its nominated senators over disciplinary violations. Now, this is after the legislators appealed the decision pending the hearing and determination of this application inter partes. This tribunal hereby stays any further implementation stalls. I think it was the Nation newspaper there has made a mistake. Perhaps they meant to write stalled any further implementation of the Jubilee Party decision dated February 8th. Their order reads, now the cases will be mentioned on February 16th and 17th respectively. And the party on Monday expelled nominated Senators Isaac Mwaura, Millicent Omanga, Mary Seneta, Falhada Dekau, Naomi Wako, and Victor Prengei, following deliberations by the party's National Management Committee on reports submitted by the Disciplinary Committee. Now, Deputy President William Ruto's camp in Jubilee had vowed to appeal the decision, and yesterday Jubilee Deputy Secretary General Caleb Kositany accused the party of persecuting the senators over their loyalty to Dr. Ruto. We will explore all the legal channels so as to ensure they get justice, Mr. Kositany, who is also the Soy Member of Parliament, said. He said that the only reason why those members were being purportedly expelled is because they have been loyal to Deputy President. He blamed the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga for the troubles in the ruling party. Until when will this handshake be used as a scapegoat, Daniel, for the troubles in Jubilee Party?
Thank you, Miriam. And we need to understand that nobody should continue blaming other quarters for the problems that they are experiencing in Jubilee Party. At the end of the day, the rule of law is very clear that when you violate this political party's constitution, they need to take action against you. Again, even the political party's tribunal and the right, and also they are within the rule of law to continue. They can stop the decision of Jubilee Party from suspending their members, but one, they cannot be able to alter the ultimate decision of the party. You cannot stay in my house if I don't want, including if the court grants you a court order to stay there until a case is heard and determined. If that case against Mwaura and the company of other 6 senators is taken to the political party's tribunal, they are going to argue their case as a party and say, this is it. Political Parties Act says that if a member continues propagating and also behaving in a manner that does not propagate our agenda as a party, we need to be able to take punitive measures that can contain these members, and also we can change them and also chase them away from our party. At the end of the day, it is the leadership and file and rank of that party that decided on what to do. Again, we need to also interrogate when these political parties tribunal committed whatever they say. When they want to put an injunction on the same, they can put on an injunction, or they can put an injunction on that, but they cannot return these people to Jubilee Party. Jubilee Party, these people have reached change of diminishing returns as far as Jubilee Party politics are concerned, and the party is an obligation to take punitive measures that protects the interests, file and rank of their party. Remember, we are dealing with a political party. We are not dealing with a kangaroo party. We are dealing with the ruling party that these people have continued undermining. And also, when these people continue taking advantage of the benevolence of the party leader and their party Jubilee, they continue undermining their party leadership to the at the behest of they continue promoting other parties at the behest of their party and their party leader. It does not augur well with their party. So if these parties take a decision, there is nobody that can blame and also take them to the political tribunal for chasing them away from Jubilee Party. It is the prerogative of Jubilee Party to know which members are loyal, and it is in their party constitution that they cannot be able to continue serving as members and also in the file and rank of their party if these people continue propagating ideas from another party. Again, I have seen people who have said before that the problems in Jubilee Party, including Irungu Kang'ata, have said that it is the Right Honorable Raila Odinga that has brought the problems they are experiencing in Jubilee Party. Is it the Right Honorable Raila Odinga that has continued telling them to follow William Ruto to besmirch the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, insult him and his family? Is it Raila Odinga who was with Moses Kuria yesterday when they were undermining the president and also the people that have been sent breaking protocol, presidential protocol on what he wants things done? Is it Raila Odinga who has entered the mind of Irungu Kang'ata to write punitive letters to the President of the Republic and leak it to the media, letters that came from Deputy President camp? Is it Raila Odinga who has gotten into the mind of Rigathi Gachagua who keeps yapping and saying that the state wants to kill them? The state wants to kill them, but they don't want to tell the people the truth, that they are corrupt people and corrupt leaders who have been stealing public resources from different government agencies and also the county government of Nyeri. Is it Raila Odinga who told Irungu Kang'ata to go and take that corruption, process of corruption from Nairobi City County? We should be able to depart from the idea of using Raila Odinga in Mount Kenya region, especially from our leaders, as a scapegoat for everything. Raila Odinga does not belong to Jubilee Party. He has their own party where he is the party leader. He is a member of the ODM party, the Original Democratic Party. We need to be able to depart from the idea of everything that happens and also that it is wrong in this country. We have to put that heap on someone that we have made a scapegoat in this nation. When these Jubilee members are chased from their party after they have disobeyed their party, we have seen ODM members being chased away from ODM. We have never seen these ODM members blame President Uhuru Kenyatta and the handshake brother of Right Honorable Raila Odinga. So these are primitive reasons that they keep propagating around, but it is out there for all and sundry to see what is happening and why these people are being punished. Nobody is being victimized and being taken to account for things they have not done. These are things that they have done. Mwaura has gone ahead to insult and belittle the President of the Republic of Kenya, a man that contributed to his own wedding. In Africa, there is no man that is supposed to be helped to marry by another man. Mwaura received 10 million shillings from President Uhuru Kenyatta. That shows a man that cannot be able to control his own home. He continues to insult the president, and then they think the party cannot take advantage. Cannot take action against such people and such members and continue blaming the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, including Irungu Kangata. Those things cannot happen in Jubilee Party. And again, it has shown the mettle and power of their party, that the party can be able to take action against members that are erratic and members that have no decency, no respect, and no honor for their fire and rank in the party that sponsored them to Parliament, Miriam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Douglas Kirimi Kositani Jevan blamed the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga for the troubles in the ruling party, Jubilee. And I'm just wondering, what does that have to do with the expulsion of members whose party organs considered not to be loyal to Jubilee Party? What does one have to do with the other?
One, Miriam, the people who follow the deputy president, they have been using the handshake as a scapegoat to their disloyalty to the party leadership, to the everything that they do wrong. They blame it to the former prime minister. I saw yesterday Irungu Kangata trying to send a message that if that Raila Odinga had was there to ensure that he is forced to or removed from the position of chief whip, and he was saying that if we can do this to me and I'm a leader, if he is elected president, what will he do to the people of Mount Kenya region? Then you see the kind of narratives that they are selling to the people. Because these people, Miriam, and I keep telling you this, they have a career around the former prime minister, Raila Odinga. They have no manifesto. Look at the deputy president. Wherever he goes, he must say, Yule Jamawa Vitendawili, Yule Muganga, Yule whatever, because they have no concrete agenda to take this country to the next level. What they know is Raila Odinga. And it's so unfortunate that these people, they are bringing all this hatred, but at the same time, they portray themselves as ambassadors of peace, ambassadors of a unified nation, ambassadors of a progressive nation. But in contrary, they are ambassadors of tribalism, nepotism, all kind of things that bring this country down. They are part and parcel in one way or the other, in one way or the other, in the mess that we are having in this country. Therefore, Caleb Koistetanyi blaming the handshake. How is Raila Odinga interfering with the affairs of the Jubilee Party? I have not understood that scenario, that kind of illustration. I don't know how they feel good following the deputy president, disregarding the president, sabotaging his agenda. Then they blame it to the former prime minister Raila Odinga. That level of intolerance, that level of political immaturity is what is causing this country to go down. This is what is causing this country not to develop to a second world class, because you have seen politicians who don't have any agenda. They don't have manifesto. What they know is to blame Raila Odinga. Even if today something happens to them, they'll blame the former prime minister. And I would to ask them, if they are courageous enough and brave as they pretend to be, why don't they face the president directly? Why do they use the former prime minister? Let them face. They have a problem with President Uhuru Kenyatta, but they will not dare speak of President Uhuru Kenyatta. They'll dare use former prime minister, or he has a problem in Jubilee. Miriam, the problem in Jubilee was there even in 2017, because you could see the kind of party primaries that they carried out. That time we didn't have the handshake. They did a very bad party nominations, and you could see the outcry that was all over the country. The likes of William Kabogo, the likes of Kabado Wakabado were forced out of party Jubilee Party nominations by the Deputy President William Ruto. That time, the ODM and the NASA brigade was not in the handshake. Therefore, they should not blame the government. They should not blame everything that happens, everything they do. They blame it to the former prime minister. Very soon you'll see them blaming the former prime minister, because now they are not giving wheelbarrows. I don't know whether their pockets are running dry, but they are not distributing the wheelbarrows. Very soon you see them say that the former prime minister is the reason why we are not giving wheelbarrows, because 1 or 2, 3 things. Okay. Therefore, it is high time that politicians start selling agendas. And if you do a mess, you carry your cross, because we know the mess in Jubilee is because of the two functioning, the Kielewek and the Tanga. That is not the problem of the ODM. ODM have their issues to deal with. Therefore, they need to settle their differences without blaming and carrying everyone carrying his own cross. If you have done a mess, if you have contributed in one way or the other in bringing down the Jubilee party, accept and you rectify, but not bring the issue of the ODM party. They have their party to deal with. They have their ambitions to work for. And you people, you have the UDA. Why don't they better the UDA party rather than complain of the ODM? If they are dissatisfied with the Jubilee, let them go out there, as they were saying, and better the UDA party, because that party will not be interfered by anybody. It's a very special party that nobody can interfere with its business. Let them work with the UDA party, because that is where they feel the ODM or anybody else will not interfere with their business.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And speaking about UDA, I know these members right now, Maura filed his own petition, while Omanga, Wako, Yane and Pregei and Dekau filed a joint application. Maura claimed the decision to expel him contravened the party's constitution, since the disciplinary process against him was initiated without any written or signed complaint. My expulsion was malicious with no justifiable reason. The committee relied on unauthenticated information to arrive at the preconceived outcome without giving me sufficient time to defend myself, said Maura. Sigei said, I'm reading from the Standard newspaper, by the way, page 4, down there, the story, relief for Jubilee senators after tribunals stopped expulsion, in case you're wondering. Now, Sigei said the other 5 senators were ambushed by unsubstantiated claims, and that their disciplinary proceedings were initiated through vague showcase letters, which did not disclose any violations of the party's constitution. Sigei said the decision to take action against the senators for failing to attend a parliamentary group meeting in last May was discriminatory, as many others allied to DP William Ruto also boycotted the event. The tribunal gave the party 7 days to respond to the applications. And the last I checked after the meeting, I think on Monday, DP William Ruto had with his allies and a good number of members of parliament and politicians, and I think these nominated senators were part of that meeting, where they even unanimously agreed that part of their contribution to the Jubilee party, the monthly contribution to run the affairs of the party, will now be directed to the new party. Is that not ground enough for them to be suspended? As we conclude the show, Douglas, so let's make it short. We only have about 3 minutes.
Thank you, Miriam. If the party nominated you to parliament, number 1, you're supposed to make contributions to that party. Number 1, be loyal to that party. 2, make contributions to make the party run well. Number 3, if you are not loyal to the party and you are not contributing to the party that nominated you, remember they didn't slaughter a goat or slaughter a cow for them to be nominated in Jubilee Party. They were members of Jubilee Party who want the constitution of Jubilee Party, and they read it. The constitution of the Jubilee Party is very clear. Nobody should say they have not violated the Jubilee Party constitution, which they have. Number 4, they were supposed to be chased away from Jubilee Party over 2 years ago. So I welcome the move to suspend them from Jubilee Party. If they can no longer fund a party that they sponsored them to Parliament and Senate, what are they doing in Jubilee Party? Thank you.
All right, very well. Jevan.
Thank you, Miriam, for the opportunity. And I feel this is my final remarks. I feel so. But let me say this.
Yes, they are.
It's good. It's good that when you're elected on a party, especially when you're nominated, you don't have the mandate of the people. Unlike the members of parliament who are elected to represent a constituency, these nominated senators or nominated members of parliament, they don't have a constituency that they represent. They were given a mandate by the party to represent special interest groups like the youth, the women, people living with disability, the marginalized communities, and so on. Therefore, they have their duties and they are responsible for the party. So therefore, when you go out there and you start championing the agenda of another party, you start championing agenda of another person who is thought to work contrarily to sabotage the party, then as all may do, you are not fit to continue earning a salary. You are not fit to continue championing for the agenda of the party that put you in the parliament or in the Senate. For the sake of the six senators, they have been championing the agenda of the wheelbarrow, the Hasraelism agenda, and the agenda of this is the UDA party. Therefore, they are not fit to continue earning a salary from the Jubilee party that sponsored them in the leadership that give them the mandate to be in the Senate. We have seen like for example, Isaac Mwaura, who represent the people living with the disabilities and mostly the albinos. We have not seen him in the floor of the Senate trying to legislate or to bring legislations that will better the livelihoods of the people who live with albinism. We have not seen him bring initiatives or bring events that will bring the people with albinism, people living with disability together, and they champion for a cause, or they demand for a better living, or they demand for 1 or 2, 3 things, and the sake for those who are in university to demand for better loans or help to be increased. Therefore, it is high time that we get a person who will champion for the people living with a disability under the Jubilee Party. We get somebody champion for the interest of these special groups and who is loyal to the party, because that is the party that took you to opposition. And you feel like the party is not living to its mandate. The best option you have is to resign and follow where your heart is and walk the talk. You know, these people, they criticize the government, they criticize the Jubilee Party, but when asked to resign, they hesitate because they know that they are doing it because some external forces, the power of money is what controls them. They don't use their independent capacity as an individual to champion for the other interests that they do. Therefore, it is high time and it's a good pace that the Jubilee Party has set, and the other parties should follow the suit. Anybody, especially the nominated members of Parliament and Senate, that should be the fate that awaits those who go contrary to the party agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chairman Karanja. Thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi. Now, I'll just read a bit of that story on the Standard Page 4, and then we shall end our show for today. Just there, Atuju declined to be drawn into the debate on procedural issues, rolling it over to Kangata and asking why he, Kangata, had in the past endorsed similar purges, including the removal of his predecessor, Senator Susan Kihika, if the process had been illegal. Interesting. And just like that, Uhuru's blue-eyed boy lost his charm and value following a letter addressed to the president that the Building Bridges initiative was unpopular in Mount Kenya region and that it could flop. Senator Kimani Wamatangi of Kiambu will now replace Kangata as per the resolutions announced by 2 June. I cannot engage in a back and forth debate with members who advance ideologies of another party, United Democratic Alliance, that is UDA. It is a big joke. We deal with numbers and have the requisite threshold to remove Kangata. So that was Tuju's response on Kangata's removal. And on this 7 senators, nominated senators that were removed, we are awaiting the decision. Well, Jubilee Party was given 7 days by the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal to respond to the applications by these 7 nominated senators that were removed yesterday. I have to end the show. Yes? You have something you want to say?
Let me ask you a question before you go.
Yes.
What is different when Irungu Kangata was championing for the removal of Senator for Nakuru, Susan Kihika, and today when he was removed yesterday? There is no difference. He was championing for the removal of Susan Kihika. His time has come, so he should also chip down and take a pill.
All right, chill down and take a pill. Sawa. Thank you so much, Douglas. Thank you. Karanja, thank you, viewers, for watching. I shall see you here at 3 p.m. with the news making headlines around the continent of Africa. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Good afternoon.